Chapter 5. Almost trouble o'clock. Veruca, Megan, and Sophie raced through the camp toward the admin office, Zyla and Juno still weak in Megan's arms. Time seemed to blur as they ran, hearts pounding with worry over the fate of the kittens. Veruca's mind was spinning. Would Patrick be furious? Would he take the kittens away? She didn't care anymore, they just needed to save them. As they approached the admin office, Emily suddenly slowed down, a panicked look crossing her face. "I need to use the restroom," Emily blurted out, her eyes wide. Veruca glanced at her, puzzled. "Now? Seriously, I'll catch up, I promise," Emily said, already darting off toward the restrooms, leaving the other three behind. Veruca frowned, but there was no time to argue. They continued running toward the office, where Patrick would be. Once inside, Megan immediately placed the kittens on Patrick's desk, her hands shaking. Zyla and Juno mewed weakly, their little bodies still struggling. Patrick looked up from his paperwork, startled by the sudden commotion. "What in the world?" Patrick started, but Sophie interrupted him, blurting out the words before she could stop herself. "They are Megan's kittens. They need help." Patrick's eyes narrowed. He rose from his seat, walking over to the kittens, inspecting them with a furrowed brow. "Kittens? At camp? Megan, you know pets aren't allowed here." Megan's face flushed with guilt, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen." Veruca shifted uncomfortably, realizing the mistake they'd just made. They had come to ask for help, but in their panic, they had openly admitted that Megan had broken the rules by bringing the kittens to camp. And worse, Sophie had just blurted it all out in front of Patrick. Sophie stammered, her eyes wide with realization. "We didn't mean to say that. I mean, Andy or Joe was lying." "Right." Veruca's heart sank. It was too late. They were caught. Patrick folded his arms, his expression stern but concerned. "So, it wasn't a lie? There really are kittens at camp? Megan, why didn't you come to me earlier?" Megan bit her lip, tears welling up in her eyes. I didn't want them to take Zyla and Juno away. They mean everything to me." Patrick let out a long sigh. "Well, you're in trouble for not following the rules. But we can't let the kittens suffer because of it. Let me take them to someone who can help." Just as Veruca, Megan, and Sophie prepared to face the consequences, the door swung open, and Emily walked in, looking completely relaxed, as if nothing unusual was happening. Patrick turned his attention to her, confused. "Emily? Why are you here?" Emily blinked, glancing around at the tense scene unfolding. Veruca, Megan, and Sophie were standing awkwardly, clearly caught in the act, while Patrick was looking down at the kittens. Emily quickly caught on and realized what had happened. Her friends had spilled everything. I just came to ask about the schedule for tomorrow's activities," Emily said casually, trying to play it cool. Patrick raised an eyebrow, clearly suspicious. "You're not here because of this?" He gestured to the kittens, his gaze questioning. Emily shook her head, putting on her best innocent smile. "Nope, no idea what's going on here. I wasn't with them, so I guess I'll just be on my way." Patrick narrowed his eyes slightly but didn't press the issue. "All right. You can leave, then." Emily gave a quick wave and backed out of the office, closing the door behind her. She exhaled in relief as she walked away, her heart still racing. She'd managed to dodge the situation entirely. Meanwhile, back in the office, Patrick turned his attention back to the other three. "As for you three," he said, his tone serious, "you're in trouble for keeping this from me. But first, let's take care of the kittens." Veruca, Megan, and Sophie exchanged guilty glances. They were in trouble, but at least Zyla and Juno were going to get the help they needed.